Yeah, well, I lost my voice several times. I'd been motor racing up at Bathurst. I got out of the car, I had no voice. Knew that something was wrong, but I felt physically fantastic. I felt fit. Jumped in the car, drove to Melbourne. On the Monday, turned up at the doctor's without an appointment. And she said, "Oh, don't worry, I think you just got bronchitis." And I knew in my head that I didn't have bronchitis, because I knew what bronchitis was, and I demanded to see an ENT. I saw an ENT within a week, and within 20 minutes, said by the scope and that, he'd detected that I had cancer in the on the larynx of the voice box. I had biopsies and all sorts of tests and all that, and had the laryngectomy, 9 months later, 8.5 months later, so yeah.
Cool. So, what would you kind of suggest to anyone who's had some kind of symptom, whether it, an ulcer, a neck lump, or some kind of sore throat? I presume it's like a cough and a sore throat. And what would you suggest? What would you recommend?
First thing, your first protocol has always got to be the doctor. The second protocol has always got to be to get them to understand and refer you to the best person who they think can address the issues that you've got. I mean, whether you've got ulcers on the tongue, whether you've got ulcers in the mouth, whether you've got sore gums, you know, when it's head and neck cancer, of course, and you've had radiation, that affects your brain structure, so your dentist becomes an important person. But the thing is that you've got to actually control your destiny with it. You've got to stand up for yourself, and you've got to be the one to challenge, because you can't expect that every medical person you see knows 100% about what you're talking about, or alternatively is an expert in the field.
And so this campaign is actually, I'm going to cut myself out here, not so much related to the type of cancer you had. This one is specifically for kind of, teaching younger people to look out for the signs, but you would always still be teaching the younger generation to look out for the signs of your kind of cancer as well. And what are those signs of laryngeal cancer?
For the signs, from my perspective, were hoarse voice, loss of voice, inconsistent voice. I didn't have a sore throat. I just had a voice problem, and I've spoken to a lot of other people, and whether they've had a voice issue or something else, but they knew there was something wrong. And it's not just, most people think, oh, it's smoking related. No, it's not, absolutely. And I'm aware of a very young teenager in Australia. I'm aware of a person that had a laryngectomy at 10 years of age and they're now 30. I'm aware of, and I've spoken to people who have been teenagers that have had partial or full laryngectomies, never smoked, never drunk, never had loud voices, which are basically the characteristics of what tend to have caused the problem.
When you say loud voices, I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, and then it could be in the genes. I mean, who knows? But the bottom line is that there doesn't seem to be a lot of consistency. But most people automatically refer to smoking. And I've met many, many Larrys, and many of them have never smoked in their life, and some have never drunk alcohol either. So, I can't say there's one common cause for it. If you've got a voice problem, go and see someone, and then go and ask to be referred to someone who specialises.
And who are they ENT?
An ENT, yep.
So go and see an ENT specialist if you have a voice problem. So do you almost, ask your GP?
Well, you need the GP to refer you. And once you've got that problem, you need to act quickly as well, because the longer that you leave a day, it's not going to go away, number one. And number two, it just makes the treatment maybe a little more challenging.
Cool. Barb, what else? My brain's fried this time of day. What else do we need to know?
So you just talked about get checked out, early diagnosis. I think it's also support. I mean, I know you do a lot of support.
Yeah, it's really, I tell you, it's really interesting. We've lost 8 Larrys in the last few months.
Sad.
I would say, out of all the Larrys that we've had contact with, I'm going to say 30% have had 2, 3, 4, or up to 5 cancers. And I've got one bloke who consistently says to me, you're going to get cancer, and I tell him to get fucked every time I talk to him. But, Darren said 5, Graham said 2, Mel said 2. I mean, I can go through a whole lot of them. Yeah. And you've got to be
And
kidding.
so these have people who've died from the laryngeal cancer, or people who've taken their life?
Yeah, well, we had one recently who took his life without telling his wife and daughter.
So
euthanasia.
Yeah, euthanasia, yeah. So we can say...
It changes it. There's 3 things it does. It changes your life dramatically. It changes how you live dramatically. It has a massive impact on your relationship. So I've seen all those side effects for people. And it's an adjustment to be able to socialise and mix again. I mean, you couldn't sit at that table and have dinner with all those people because no one would hear you. So you can't sit at big tables. You can't go into crowded rooms. Sorry, I'll rephrase it. If you do, you don't stay. You just walk out because no one can hear you unless they're standing right next to you. So you've got no volume with your voice. Right, so...
Yeah, so your life has really changed.
Well, it does.
Yeah. I think though, Mike, what your group has done is provided that support and to give you purpose of life.
So we do as a group, we do a lot of training of medical people, like we've done, nurses of up to 55 people. We've done training programs, we've met with partners, we've met with families, we've met with Larry's pre-op and post-op. We've assisted them with care in relation to how to get themselves going again. Very difficult for people to resume or be employable again. So then there are other challenges that people don't understand. So some of the interesting things, some of your closest friends take a backward step because they think it's too hard for you to talk. And other people become your friends because they know that it's a bit of a challenge. So, there's no two Larrys the same. They might have had the same type of surgery, but then there's all sorts of other challenges that go with that. I've seen families give up. I've seen Larrys give up, which is, I find, incredibly sad, because you can develop a good life. Mightn't be the best life, but it's a good life.